Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are staying well in the midst of this ongoing pandemic. I'm sure much like all of us, I'm over it. I'm so over it. Still want us to be safe and still want us to wear our mask and do what we need to do in order to get back to some sense of normalcy, but I'm over it. I'm so over it. I'm ready to, I miss being in a classroom to teach. I miss, going to the gym and all of these things that just we're probably so far from ever getting back to there's not going to be getting back to normal. It's adjusting to a new norm of how things are going to be probably for a long time. So in the midst of all that, I still hope you guys are well and taking care of yourselves. This video, I'm going to get right to it, guys, is actually I will say inspired and also dedicated to all the amazing young ladies that have allowed me to be a mentor to them in my mentoring group. Back in 2018, I felt led to start a mentoring group called Fit for Your Purpose, and play on words because I love fitness and being fit for your God-given purpose. I also believe that, we were all created for something specific. And when you tap into what that specific thing is, life is just, it opens up so many amazing things. And you as a person get to live, I feel like, your best life possible because you're doing, exactly what you were designed to do. And so I started this group, and the ladies in my group are just so amazing. And I knew it was meant to be, so to speak. I knew it was, something that, like I said, God put on my heart. But, when I came up with the name of the ladies that I had built a relationship with, all of them had been my student, and in a couple different classes, but all of them I built a certain bond with, or felt just a different level of connection with. And so I invited them to be a part of this, and it's just been amazing to watch how they have all come together when their schedules have allowed, because they're all busy, but everyone just clicks so well. I love, and I thrive off of positivity and harmonious type environments, and to see that and to be able to have a hand in creating that is just the best thing ever. And so I'm really, really, really proud of all of these ladies. And so they're all, what I like to say, on their path of greatness. And I always tell them they're doing what they should be doing, which means they're doing nothing illegal. They're doing what's right for them in their specific journey. Most, I think, have all graduated. Many are off to grad school. Some are off to PA school, medical school. It's just, and the reason why there's similarities in that is because I teach a class called Health Disparities. And so a lot of them have passed through that class. And so all that being said, many of them are stepping into a new season of their life. And that may be filling out applications for graduate school, or waiting to hear back from medical school, to starting, taking a gap year and working for a while. But the point being, they're all doing something kind of similar, but in their own way. But there's still differences. And so I've been fortunate to be able to, even despite COVID and us not being able to get together, and I've had some have moved, and so we keep in touch and we do one-on-ones when possible. And I noticed that there was kind of a similar set of questions that I was being asked. And so if you follow me on my blog, I actually wrote about this one because I felt like it was worthy of a blog and a vlog and a video on my YouTube channel. But what if I should have? That's the question in some shape or form. They may have not worded it that exact way, but basically they were asking me, what if I should have, Professor Campbell, what if I should have took that job instead of that job? What if I should have, not moved, or moved here? Or there was some variation of that question coming up. And so like I said, it's the inspiration behind this specific YouTube video. And so many times I give very specific responses depending on who I'm talking to. But I think my answer for a lot of variations of that question still remain the same. And that is, there is no wrong decision. There's no wrong choice. There's no, like I said, bad choice that you're going to make. Are there bad choices and decisions in life? Yes, absolutely. There's plenty of bad things that you should not be choosing to do, but you got to remember the context of what I'm talking about. All of them, again, like I said, they are doing what they should be doing, is like how I often tell them. And I truly believe that in my heart of hearts. I mean, these ladies, I mean, I've seen some of them work two, sometimes three jobs, work full time, part time, go to school full time, work part time. I mean, there's some variation. Still look after their families, still check in with their families, still have friendships. Something has to give. I think a lot of them might give on the social aspect of things, but the point being, I mean, these ladies all have a good head on their shoulders, and it's just now that they're stepping into a new chapter. And a lot of times, a new chapter will bring uncertainty and fear and anxiety and cause us as human beings, right, to question if we're on the right path. And so, like I said, my response to that often, and that is really what I wanted to talk about on this video, is if you are someone that is struggling with that question, what if I should have? I mean, we've all asked ourselves that question. I asked myself that question more times than I can count throughout the 40 years of life that God has blessed me with. What if I should have done this and not that? The list is endless of why we would ask that question. It's a valid question. It's coming from somewhere, because we don't, as human beings, we don't want to make the wrong decision. But here's why I say it's none of the choices that are being made, especially for the ladies in my group, are the wrong decision, because you can learn from every single thing. You may start a job, and after about 3 months, you'll know you'll know if it's a good fit or not. By no means do I think people should throw in the towel every 3 months after being at a job, because number one, sometimes we have to endure and go through a season or go through something that we may not necessarily want to, but there's something that we're gaining. It's building character or something in that, and I think, unfortunately, as a society, we've gotten so quick to throw in the towel in a lot of things, whether that's in a relationship or whether it's a job. If things don't go our way, we're like, oh, I'm done, And so I think, unfortunately, too many people are turning out that way, to where there's no longevity anymore. And so I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that no experience, if you choose to look at it that way, is going to ever be wasted. I don't think I've shared this story on this video, but I know I've shared it with some of the ladies. So real quick, my backstory is that when I went to college right out of high school at 18 years old, I decided to major in communications. Reason being is that I was going to become a sportscaster. That was the goal that I had in mind. That was the career. I was excited about it. My whole life I had been an athlete, but I knew those days were quickly coming to an end. And so I was like, this is a perfect way for me to stay in the sports world, so to speak, and then, do something that I really do think I'll enjoy. And so I majored in communications. I will spare you the middle part of that story for the next 20 years, but I did not end up working as a sportscaster, obviously. When I went back to finish my bachelor's degree, because I did not finish after the first 4 years, so I did 2 years, and then when I went back, I was about 28 years old. I went ahead and just finished what I started, because I had all these classes and credits in communications, but I knew, I had been a stay-at-home mom for quite a while, but I knew eventually the goal was to go back to work. But I wanted a job that would still afford me and allowed me time with my daughter, and I didn't want to put her into school and then have her go to after-school care or daycare, or, I wanted to still be able to be a significant, spend a lot of significant time with her. So I came to the conclusion that teaching would be a perfect answer to that. I liked and loved kids enough to where I felt like I would do well at that. But then as I started thinking about it, high school, I didn't love a subject that much to teach it. Middle school, wasn't touching that with a 10-foot pole. And then elementary school, I was kind of like, it's just, I wasn't overly excited about it. And so I was like, okay, I feel like it's been put on my heart to teach, but what am I going to teach? After, finishing up my classes and my electives, which were in sociology, it was kind of like aha moment, oh, I can teach sociology, but if I want to teach sociology, I got to get a master's degree. And so, all things were working out. Okay. Things like, if you read my blog, I mentioned that God talks about everything will work out for the good. Okay. And so that's, as I look back on it, everything was lining up and working out for my good. And so fast forward, here I am now, teach college and I teach sociology. And I say this with all humility because one, I love what I do. Okay, that makes a difference. But I feel like I'll put it this way. I feel like one of my strengths, and when it comes to strengths and weaknesses, is that I'm a good communicator. And so because of that, it enhances, my teaching experience, and, it keeps from, I can get up in front of students, and, it's no big deal to teach to a class of 200, and I'm not boring and I'm not monotone. And, all the training that I had as a communication major, which originally was supposed to be for me to be a sportscaster, is now benefiting me tenfold as a university instructor or university professor. So at the end of the day, I think that's a perfect example of how things always come back around to work out for the good of those who, trust in God and know that He really has our best interest at heart. So for all of those individuals, whether, again, if it's not you, maybe this is something you can pass on to somebody else, just know that there is no wrong choice, okay? And if you allow God to, work, do what He does, which is to want to see us happy and to live our best life and to live out our purpose that He specifically has created us for, you'll always win. You will always come out on top. Okay, so trust the process. Trust that you're in the right position. If you end up in a place, or whether it's a relationship or whether it's a job or whether it's a city, and it's just not quite working out, guess what? You have the ability to change it. Okay. And so I hope this is encouragement to somebody that may be struggling and asking themselves, what if I should have? What if I should have fill in the blank? And just know that there is no wrong decisions, and there's a lesson, and there's a lesson in every experience if you choose to look at it that way. Okay. So I hope this helps someone. Again, this one is dedicated and inspired by the ladies in my mentoring group. I love every single one of you ladies, like you're my own sister, because I'm not old enough to be your mama, but nonetheless, I love you all. And for everybody else, I hope you get something from this, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week or weekend, depending on when you watch this. And I will see you on the next video.